right, so in 2 weeks is going down in New Orleans. Not only will we have the highly anticipated Super Bowl performance at halftime by Kendrick Lamar. I should do a countdown, but nevertheless, I'll consider that. But nevertheless, they run it back. So you got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Now, in case you guys don't know, if you've been under a rock, Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's premier quarterback. He's won 3 Super Bowls out of 4 attempts. But he's the first quarterback that could have the opportunity to three-peat, win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And we all know the NFL likes a storyline. We all know they want to be part of history. They want to have their first team to three-peat. So a lot of people believe that there could be some things that could possibly go on that could assist the Chiefs in winning the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, the Chiefs beat Buffalo. I didn't really see anything too suspect. At the end of the day, you're going to miss a call. I saw a couple of holding calls that could have been called. I saw a questionable face mask call, but I didn't want to bring that up because I feel like the refereeing was not blatantly in favor of the Chiefs. So, Buffalo just, to me, my own perspective, they just didn't make plays sometimes when needed. They made plays, but when it came down to that last play, that 4th down, they wasn't able to convert it. Now there was one that did look like there was one that they called a first down for the Chiefs, where it looked as if Josh Allen made it, but they wouldn't show it from a certain angle. And the NFL, they have camera angles where they pretty much can catch everything. And they just showed it from an angle to where it was a judgment call. But that's about it. That's about it. Because Buffalo still had other opportunities. So now let's get to the Eagles. The Eagles, when I say they thrashed the Commanders. I'm so used to saying the Redskins. I'm just not used to that Commander stuff. I grew up my whole entire life pretty much 40 plus something years saying, the Skins and all that kind of stuff. And then abruptly, because of political correctness and all that kind of stuff, they was forced to change the name. Listen, I'm not Native American. That's not really my fight. And once again, if they felt that name was offensive, then fine. I'm just saying, when I accidentally call them the Redskins, it's not that I'm trying to be, that I'm trying to be disrespectful. It's just the name that I'm used to calling them. But nevertheless, the Eagles thrashed. I'm talking about they thrashed. I'm talking about the game wasn't even competitive. But that's okay. Jalen Daniels had a great season. He did better than what people thought he would do. They thought the game would have to gradually come to him over the next couple of seasons. But, now the thing is, build a team around him. Get him receivers. Get him run, tweak the defense. Tweak the offense. They just cleared the path for you to move back to, the DC area and to get out of Maryland. So there you have it. But I think this is the matchup that the NFL wanted. Both of these teams are great in their own perspective. Philly has a great defense and they have a great offense. I really think what's going to be pivotal to this game as far as Philly go is basically clock management. I don't think Philly has to go in the air consistently. I don't think they have to get into a shootout with Kansas City. I think what they need to do is do what got them there, give them a heavy dosage of Saquon Barkley. You know, he's going to get some rest. He's going to have, you know, pretty much a week and some change to prepare for the Super Bowl. You know, one thing about the Super Bowl, you know, it's 2 weeks after the championship game, so teams get, you know, he should go slide to Hawaii for a couple of days, him and Jalen Hurts. But both of those dudes are married, so you know, both of those dudes are married. But I really think it's gonna come down to Philly running. When they do the coin toss, I think Philly should keep it. If they decide to defer and let the Chiefs have it, and then they get the ball at halftime, then who knows? But if I'm Philly, I'm going to seize every opportunity to have that ball. The thing is, you don't want Patrick Mahomes to get comfortable. You don't want him to have a whole bunch of time to get plays off, to establish plays. So I think Philly is going to try to control the clock. And I think rightfully that's a smart thing to do. And shout out to Barkley. Made the running back position relevant again. Because at first you started to see that team was starting to shy away from running the ball, where they wanted to make the game more aerial because they wanted more high-scoring games. But it's been proven that you still can score a lot of points if you use the running back effectively and you use them in the right way and you call the right plays for them. Now, am I going to pick a winner? No, I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm not going to pick a winner. But I'll say this much. I would rather see the Eagles win than the Chiefs. Now, I will say something that I was very pleased about, that the NFL got the memo from fans that they were getting annoyed with all the Taylor Swift coverage. I think they only showed Taylor Swift, I think, once or twice the whole game, because I think it was just getting annoying every time, you know, the Chiefs played. They would go to, you know, they would have a Taylor Swift reaction, and it got to the point to where it was starting to annoy fans. It was almost like they was making her part of the game. And I think the NFL yesterday did a good job of shying away from that, because I just think people had enough of that. When we watch football, we want to watch the football team. We don't care who's there in attendance. If you want to do one segment when you show who's there in attendance, that's fine. I understand that. You want to let people know how big the game is. But when you just constantly showing one particular person, it gets annoying, it's nerve-wracking, and then you just like, man, are you kidding me? So the question now has been posed. If Patrick Mahomes becomes the first starting quarterback, now keep in mind, this is his 7th straight, you know, AFC championship win and, you know, Super Bowl appearance. Keep in mind, since Patrick Mahomes has been a starter, he has went to the AFC championship every year since being named the starting quarterback. He's went to the championship every year at least. So that just goes to show you how good Patrick Mahomes is as a quarterback. But Jalen Hurts, he has a chance to offset what Patrick Mahomes is trying to do. The Eagles are good enough to beat the Chiefs. The Eagles could have beat them the last time they played. They actually outplayed them, but it was just a couple of mistakes that got made. I think there was a fumble by Jalen Hurts and a couple of forced turnovers that was pivotal to the game. But Jalen Hurts played a solid game. He played a very solid game. He didn't lose them the game because it was a competitive game all the way through. But this particular Eagles team is better than the Eagles team that went there the last time. They didn't even have Barkley then. They have more than a chance to win this game. Now keep in mind, Paul Tagliabue did not interfere. I forgot when Roger Goodell took over, but I think when the Patriots lost to the New York Giants in the Super Bowl, where they had a chance to go undefeated, they didn't interfere in that game. I don't think Paul Tagliabue interfered in that game. I think he let the chips fall where they may. And Eli Manning ended up winning that game and becoming Super Bowl MVP. And it was a hell of a game too. Which, by the way, I think Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. They're going to announce the Hall of Fame class in a couple of weeks. Or they're going to announce it, I think, NFL honors. Eli Manning is a finalist for the Hall of Fame. I think he should get in. I know Eli Manning's, record as a starter isn't that impressive. He's exactly 117 and 117. He is exactly 500 as a starter. Exactly 500 as a starter. But he has 2 Super Bowl rings. And he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. So whenever Eli Manning got to the Super Bowl, he showed up. So that's why he's worthy of making it to Canton on the first ballot. Now, we'll see. We'll see. But my thing is, they're saying that Matthew Stafford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. But my thing is, Matthew Stafford right now as we speak, he has a losing record as a starting quarterback. And I know he spent most of his years in Detroit, and Detroit wasn't that good. And people are going to say his stats alone warrant him being in the Hall of Fame. Okay, well, you got to have that same energy for Eli. And that's just real talk. You got to have that same energy because Matthew Stafford only won 1 Super Bowl. I'm not going to say only won 1. That's very debatable. So, getting back to the Chiefs and the Eagles, this is going to be a very exciting game. I'm going to be glued to my seat. Well, I'm not going to say glued to my seat because I'm probably going to be watching it, in my bedroom, watching it, just watching it, chilling. May even order some food. Who knows? Who knows? I'm glad they don't schedule fights the weekend. I'm glad for the most part they don't schedule fights the weekend of the Super Bowl. For the most part. And once again, I'm not going to pick a winner. May the best team win. But I do hope that the NFL let this game play out. Let the Chiefs earn it. Don't help them. Let them earn it. If they're really that good, let them earn it. Because one thing that I enjoyed yesterday is that I got to talk about the games without talking about controversial calls. And there wasn't really too much controversy to the game yesterday. So, looking forward to it. But anyway, it's your boy Tam. I'm out.